Okay, welcome to the Perfect Show. Have my lighter on. Got one of my good friends, Nanaya.
Hi, Brandon.
How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm happy. I'm excited to be here. I keep
Okay.
on telling you, like, I'm shocked you want to talk to me.
No, of course.
But I'm excited.
Okay. I see your nails.
Oh,
Wait, can you show that? Come through.
I try.
Yes.
Try. At the beginning of the pandemic, I learned how to do my nails on my own.
Like non press on?
Yeah.
That was no disrespect.
Because it drives it's okay. But it drives me crazy not having my nails done. I don't know what the problem is. So obviously, like when things shut down, I was like, these nails got to get done one way or another.
Yeah.
So
Press on. That's when I was working at Target during Corona, and I remember press ons were like, it was just as bad as tissue. Like it was.
you said we ain't had no Lysol, no toilet paper, and no press-ons.
Yeah, there were no press on nails. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But the correlation makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the process? We got straight to it. What's the process?
Oh man. Okay. So it's SNS, so which is like a dipping powder. So it's a whole thing. First, you got to remove the set you have on. You soak it in acetone. Then you have to like buffer your nail, kind of like clean it up. So with the drill. And then let's see, after that, if you want to put a tip on, that's when you would put the tip on.
Before you put the nail on? Or like
the tip is the artificial nail that makes your nails look longer.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, that's when you go ahead and put it on. You glue it on. You kind of have to like buff that down some too once you put it on there, just like even it out.
Right.
Then the SNS dip parts. So you have like a base coat, you dip it, base coat, dip it, base coat,
nail?
dip it.
So you
into
do
the
this
color.
for each individual nail?
Yes. But you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And then you do, depends on.
While they're on your hand. I'm sorry. I know like I'm like super novice. So
It's okay.
So you take the first nail off, put the next nails on.
No, so the nail, so you know how you put the tip on each nail to make it look longer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, because you already have your own nails. I'm sorry. I just had wine. Literally. Okay. So
your nails are ready, they're ready for application at this point, basically.
okay.
And so that's when you, when you put a base coat, you dip your finger, base coat, dip, base coat, dip. You can do it, some people do it 2, 3, 4 times even on each finger. And then you finish off with like a one that like seals it and makes everything like hard.
Wow. Okay.
Then you have to buff it down some more to get it smooth and even because it's going to be weird from the application. You got to clean up your cuticle.
Okay. I can see that.
All that different stuff. It takes about, for me to do it, it takes about 2 hours. And obviously I'm not a professional. So it takes a little bit longer.
That was my next question though. Wow. So how much of a price difference? I mean, not asking for numerical values necessarily, but can you feel the impact that it's made of you
Yes.
doing your own nails?
Absolutely. Like it's expensive to get your nails done. Like, and being able to, like I said, you make up for it in the time. So it's like, which one do you want? Do you want the convenience but the expense? Or, do you want the time, but at least you save some money?
Right.
And I definitely choose the time most times. Sometimes I'm just like, I ain't got it in me today. I'm going to the salon. But yeah, no, I try to keep on doing it.
So you've been doing it for 2 years now?
Over, yeah.
So you already do this. Okay.
I'm telling you, if we shut down like March 17, 2020, I was on Amazon trying to figure out how to get my nails done. Like 3 days later.
Oh, dang. Wow.
March 20th. I was so serious. Yeah, I was so serious. I was like, my nails will not be done.
So you kept them done during the like no one seeing each other stage?
Right. And that's how I know like this is purely a me thing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this for nobody.
Yeah, because I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Nobody was at work though.
No one saw. Yeah, I saw nobody, but I was doing it. Feet too, pedicures, and I learned how to. I learned how to do my hair over the process too. I don't know what wax. I learned how to. I have a wax machine now. Like,
wow.
I like kept up with the upkeep basically. I don't know. It's a psychological thing, clearly.
Yeah. But do you think you're experienced enough now to do someone else's nails? Have you already done? Let me not even try you.
Have. I've done my mom's nails.
Oh.
That was good. And then I've done my my best friend Ashley. I've done her nails.
Yeah.
You know Ashley.
Catch him.
Ash Ketchum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out Ash. It's been a minute. She's a veterinarian.
She is. She just graduated from vet school.
Okay.
Sometime in May. Yeah.
Okay. Shout out our Black female veterinarians. Like that is such a like. That is the.
I know.
Oh yeah. Don't get me off topic. Yeah. Shout out Ash and all our Black veterinarians. Period. But especially female. Yes.
We need that. Thank you.
Yes. Back to you, Naya, the
I did her nails for her wedding.
Nice. Oh wow.
Yeah, and I feel like, again, I'm not perfect at it, but they come out decent. Like I would do again. I do my own, so
I would have never known.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So like, shit, I had not planned on going here, but we can go here. So like, would you ever do it for profit? Not necessarily like full time. You know what I'm saying? But would you?
I think not like maybe here or there, maybe, because now I do hair for profit where I wasn't doing hair before
Really?
I'll do here and there, like, and it ain't nothing expensive because again, I'm not a professional, so I'm not sure how long these hairs. Right. But I've done a few. I've done some twists. I've done some like faux locks.
Word.
Yeah. I've done a little bit here and there.
Okay, wow, that is.
I think all these things.
Yo, I had all these law questions. Didn't know I was talking to an esthetician. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was a nice introduction. But you're from Florida.
Yes. Yeah. Orlando.
Well, yeah. Well, what's kind of your story, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So my parents are from Ghana.
Okay.
I have an older sister. And then there's me. So it's the four of us. I grew up in Orlando. Really spent my whole entire childhood in Orlando, excuse me. Then I went to University of Miami.
Okay, shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to the U.
Yes.
There we go. I went to University of Miami. Obviously, so I was in Miami for 4 years.
Wow.
I finished up, moved up to Atlanta for law school. That was a 3-year process. So I graduated 2018, and
nice.
Now
I was there.
You were at my graduation.
Yes, hot. Hot May Day. Yes,
it was hot. It was really, really hot. But yeah, we've seen each other through everything.
Yeah.
So, graduated May 2018 and started practicing 2019. Here we are.
So what inspired you to want to go to law school? Because what'd you get your undergrad degree in?
My undergrad degree was in political science and communication studies, and then I minored in Africana studies.
Wow.
I've always, and it was on a pre-law track. I've always known I wanted to be an attorney.
Oh, okay.
So, I was following the steps, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Poli-sci, that's the.
And honest, because political science to me, that's not, to be very honest, not what I probably would have chosen to major in, but that's where those communication studies and then the Africana studies came in, because those were two that I was like, okay, I'm really interested in these. So
yeah, okay. I always said, I was a history major. If I wasn't a history major, I would have been a poli-sci major because I had to take about 3 or 4 poli-sci classes, political science. Yeah. I loved them. Because I think the thing I love the most about them is that there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer. It's kind of a telling of your perspective of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And yeah. So what, is this just an innate thing, or is there something that sparked your?
I will say one thing that I've always done, I've always been good at is arguing on behalf of people or advocating for people. Even in elementary school, for whatever reason, it always used to be, hey, can you ask teacher to do X, Y, and Z. And then me going to the teacher and being like, this is why we shouldn't do X, Y, and Z.
Wow.
I don't know what it was. Like, always, it's always been like, obviously, I, you know, a lot of people saw that in me and said, that's a lawyer right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That, man, that kind of shit gives me goosebumps. Because it almost is like you were pre-wired like that.
I do feel like, but you know, it's interesting because, you know, these like personality tests and stuff, I, you know, believe that they're fairly accurate.
Yeah.
And all of the time I look and I don't see like you know, where it'll tell you like, oh, what your profession should be.
Yeah.
I've never seen like attorney under that. And that's always been interesting to me.
What do you typically get?
I get teachers, I get politicians, some
In the neighborhood.
adjacent, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's off I think I've gotten social workers before.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know,
No, it fits. It's almost like when you were saying that, it kind of made me realize, I'm like, damn, I was a teacher and I liked history, political science, and everything. I feel like we're almost in this group of people who like, we want to be informed. And then once we're informed, we want to either tell people or help people or both.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel like that's so interesting how you are just born like that at kindergarten, advocating.
Yeah. And literally just stayed like that for a long time until I was able to put like a profession where I was like, okay, cool. I guess this is for me.
Right. And your sister, she's in law.
My sister's a lawyer as well.
I'm seeing a trend here.
You know, and it's crazy. I think I even knew I wanted to be an attorney before she knew. She's 4 years older than me. So she found out like later down the line.
Right.
And even like it makes sense the type of attorneys that we are. My sister's very like she's quiet. She's really, really smart, but she wants to, you know, be behind the scenes.
Right.
So she does policy reform, which I think is perfect. Like, you know, she looks up the laws, she figures out what needs to change, and then she, you know, proposes it to whoever it needs to be proposed to get passed in Congress. So,
wow.
Yeah, I've always thought that was like super cool, and it's like on brand for her.
Yeah, I've met your sister. She, like you said, she's mad like she's the hacker.
Yes.
Yeah. She ain't robbing no banks. She's hacking into the system.
Absolutely.
Yes. Wow. Okay. And you said policy reform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she lives in DC, right?
Maryland, right outside of DC.
But she works in DC.
Yeah.
So like, she's literally one of those people that like is in Washington.
My sister, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, today I had to go to the Hill," and I'm just like
Capitol Hill. Yeah.
Casually, I'll be like, "Okay."
Right. Only one of those historic sites on this land. Okay. Wow. So does she go to the White House often? Like, I don't know. That was probably an ignorant question.
No. She's been to. I know she's been to the White House for like an event.
Okay.
Before, maybe once or twice.
Okay.
So.
That is so. Were either of your parents like involved in law?
No, but my grandpa, my mom's father, was a lawyer. So I don't know if maybe
in the blood. Yeah. DNA's real. That's interesting. Wow. So what piece of law how does law work? Because as much as I love I think I have like an supreme interest in law, but I don't know exactly how all of it works. So like, is there like a concentration? I know, and that's crazy. I know I've asked you this several times throughout the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But also for YouTube and for the Instagram. Shit.
The people need to know.
Yeah, the people need to know. So like, what do you do, and how does all this work? I know it's a very open-ended question, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, invite me into the world of a lawyer.
I can only, I guess, the one part that I really understand, or not, I can't even say like really understand. I've been a lawyer for 3 years, so I don't know, somewhat, or I'm getting to understand is criminal law. So that's where I'm in right now. I work in a solicitor's office. And what I do in that solicitor's office is I work as the attorney of the diversion program.
Okay.
Basically, a diversion program is a way to, if you think about it, divert your charge. So it's a way to be able to basically handle your charge without having to go to court. And it, deals with going through a program, getting your charges dismissed. Almost like very similar to like a first offender treatment.
Okay.
You know what that is, yeah.
I actually don't. Can you break this down? This is exciting. This is so exciting.
A lot of the times, like a prosecutor's office will offer up first offender treatment, or a criminal defense attorney may ask for first offender treatment, which is, okay, so let's say you get charged with a crime, theft. And this is the first time you've ever been charged with anything, no convictions on your record, you know, fairly spotless record. So
like me.
Exactly like you. So once they look at your record, see that it's clean, they offer what's called first offender treatment. So they may say, okay, what we'll do is we will take this off of your record. But first you have to do X, Y, and Z. And it could be community service. It could be pay a fine. It could be like jail time. It could be a few things.
Right.
But once you finish and once you've gone through, it's like it never happened. It's just like taken off.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So once it's taken off, you're still, of course, like documented as like, hey, this person committed a crime, right? Or is it almost like is it really like it never happened?
There are definitely like agencies that will know. There are certain things like you can't get it completely it can't just disappear like that.
Right, okay.
But as far as like, when people run your record for like a job search or something like that, and as far as I know, disclaimer, just as far as I know.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Because I know how y'all niggas work.
As far as I know, they shouldn't be able to see that kind of stuff.
Okay. Really? So, like, oh, this is so great. So, I'm trying to think of where to start. Like, in your eyes, now that you've been here 3 years, so now we're talking about almost 1,100 days, if we're adding up time. So you know, over 1,000 days as a lawyer. Like, do you think that do you see racial biases?
Absolutely.
Okay, because
I've seen it. So I used to intern in A County's public defender's office in Metro Atlanta area. And it was really interesting to see how like judges, even how they treated like defendants based on, race and what kind of charges you used to see people come in. Like you see more of one charge for a certain group and, you don't really see that charge in another group. And what's happening, like, but
right.
It's happening all kind of ways. So I think like seeing the sentencing, you definitely like kind of, you see a difference in that. And that's the kind of, you absolutely notice it. Yeah, unfortunately.
Have you ever, as a young Black female, which I feel like on a national scale, everyone's rooting for y'all the hardest. Just being honest. Well, I feel like at least us Black men. Like, do you think like, have you faced certain discriminations or certain just biases? You know what I'm saying, or certain hurdles?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely notice. So you definitely notice the ways certain people will treat you.
Right.
Certain people will look at you, even like when it comes down to walking into a courtroom and it ain't no way you're the attorney. Like, you're
Really?
probably someone's assistant or a clerk or, and again, that's, that's not anything wrong or bad with that. But,
Right.
there's no way I could be the attorney. So, and I also get like, I look young.
Yeah. See, you look
Younger
like
than someone.
Yeah, you look
Let
like
me
a
tell
college kid.
you, one time at the public defender's office, so part of our, job, jail visits. So you often like go to the jail, and that's where you meet your client for the very first time.
Really?
Because they meet like a certain criteria for a public defender to come in. So I remember like I walked into the cell, and this guy most of the time it's you walk in and you have to wait until your person, you may have to wait like a minute before your person gets in.
Right.
So I'm waiting. Finally, this guy, like, he comes in and he looks at me. He goes, "Oh, hell no."
For real?
He's like, "You're a child." I was like, okay. And the thing is,
Wow.
as like a student, so as a student, there's this thing called the First Year Practice Act, where you can practice as long as there is an attorney supervising you.
Okay.
But in the same vein, like if that client doesn't want you, you can't be on the case. Like, someone else has to take it.
Oh, so clients can they can say, I don't want this public.
This person, yeah.
Okay.
The way the place I worked at anyway, the way things were, yeah, if a client said nah, then they weren't gonna force me on
Okay.
anybody.
Okay.
And a lot of people said no.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It would you strictly just because of age and
But I get it. Like this may be practice for you, or you getting experience, but this is my life.
True. Okay.
So, no, thank you. I'd rather not let this, first year law school student handle my case. I get that.
Okay.
And honestly, like when people used to say no, I used to, I completely understand. I'll let them know back at the office, and I'm not even going to try to argue you down.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah, no.
Was it ever like was there a point where it did like hurt a little bit, or were you just from the beginning kind of like it is what it is?
I think like earlier on when it first was happening to me, I was like, damn, like, okay.
Right.
I was offended.
No.
But you, again, like you kind of you get more perspective, and you're like, I completely understand why someone wouldn't want me to represent them.
Okay. So what was your first case like? And if you don't mind me, like, of course not details, but like, what was it like? More on the serious end, or was it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and what did that feel like?
So by case, do you mean like my first trial, or?
Well, I guess I was thinking more so along the lines of like, well, a jail visit, it's like, that's like the first step of leading to you defending someone in a trial. So what exactly do you do? I'm sorry. I still don't really get it. I'm sorry. But you're like the person that like, if someone commits a crime and I need a lawyer, you're the person.
No.
Okay.
In my former, so when I was interning at that public defender's office, yes.
Okay.
A defense attorney.
Okay.
As a solicitor now, a solicitor's office is a form of a prosecutor's office.
Okay.
So if you're charged with something, that's where the prosecutor comes in.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I'm
Wow,
saying we
you
have
got
a diversion program.
Okay, you play a very important role. Wow. I mean, not that I didn't think so. Well, hold on. But I'm saying like you're on that end of like the spectrum of like y'all really determine people's lives here.
Yes, definitely. My office is we handle misdemeanors. So anything that is if it's a felony or anything that comes through us, we literally send it up to a different office to handle.
Okay.
So it's a little bit the stakes can be a little bit lower for sure. But yeah, you still do make a difference. It makes a difference between, whether someone loses their job or not, or whether someone loses their license or not. And all those things, as small as they may seem, can
Right.
snowball.
So do you think, like, personally, like, do you think you have more of a, I don't want to say lenient is not the word, but like, do you have a more optimistic, I guess, I don't know if, like, for lack of better terms, like, approach to prosecuting? Or am I not allowed to ask that?
I think I understand what you're saying is like, do I find myself trying to be like more progressive in my prosecution?
Yeah.
Working in the diversion program of the office I work in, I definitely try to get people in as much as possible.
Okay.
I would like for people to, I think, like, unfortunately, a lot of our prosecution, like, across the board, so at a lower level where I'm at, middle level, high level prosecution, all it's like it focuses on being punitive, but not like rehabilitation.
Punitive. What is it?
So
how would you define
punitive is like, punishing someone to teach them a lesson.
I see that root word, PUN. Okay.
There you go.
Wow, puny. Wow. Sorry. You know something connects in your mind, like, wow, okay, wow, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and then whereas, rehabilitative is like, okay, if someone commits a crime or does something wrong, instead of, just punishing them, it's like a kid. It's like, instead of, punishing them or whatever, you kind of show them where they went wrong and then kind of have them show. That's where, like, a lot of people find community service or like these like programs, even like driving school. Like, you show them where they went wrong and you say, okay, if you show accountability in some kind of way, then we'll treat it like it didn't happen.
Okay.
Or at least it helps to, if you're teaching someone, what went wrong, at least it helps for them to know not to do it moving forward.
Right. As opposed to just laying down the hammer. Okay.
Because anything that makes people angry and resentful, and what are you teaching someone? Nothing. So.
Okay. So, how long do you think, or do you? I mean, of course, it's hard to predict the future, but like, how long do you see yourself being in this realm of law? Do you want to go to another realm of law?
Not long.
Really? Why not?
I think that in order to be a progressive prosecutor, you have to be in a progressive prosecutor's office.
Okay.
It has to be like the main goal. And I don't where I work, I don't think that, they're trying to throw the book at people or anything like that, but
right. Well, what do you like? What's your definition of progressive law?
I mean, I know this may be, so I think less jail, less probation, because these are things that are just like an endless cycle. And more programs, like I said, like, make people show you that they're, I'm accountable for my actions. I realize I did something wrong. Instead, like, with our jails and our probation systems and stuff like that, you just have a bunch of people angry and ready to, keep on.
I hadn't thought about the angle of like you're just kind of alluding to, like, instead of rehabbing, you just end up with a lot of kind of resentful folks. And it's funny because you made that connection to like children, and I had never thought about it like that. But it's true. Like, I don't have a kid. You don't have a kid. But it's like, I remember what it was like to be a kid, and it's a lot more helpful when the teacher doesn't just send you to ISS.
Yeah.
But they say, come on, Brandon. You know you're better than this. Here, come on, Anaya. I know you want to talk today, but it's, it's wild because like, you know how I feel about like the 13th Amendment and all that shit. But like I said, you know, I'm still like, there's still so much of like law that I know I don't even know. So like, I try not to delve too deep into it. But it's crazy to hear this perspective of like the emotional toll that it takes on people with that cycle of jail. Do you think like, do you honestly foresee, and because we both live in the South, do you see the South as a whole? Do you think it could get more progressive in the next 20 years as far as just less punishment? Is it even a regional thing? Let me not even be ignorant. Or is it?
I think it's hard to say. It's really hard to say because you would think, you know, just something as simple as like over time things would, you know,
Yeah.
progress, but we see things like literally in front of us right now are like not getting better, they're getting worse. This country is like is weird. Like it's weird here.
Yeah.
Like how, you know, how you see everyone else around you getting right. And anyway, what was the question? Oh, do I see like
Oh yeah,
it's really hard to say because again, like progress, as small as it may be, will be made, and then you just lose ground again. I don't get it. Like
it is strange. I've never, yeah, I don't, it's weird. Like like you were saying, time, I just had this vision and it's still early. So I still have hope. I have this hope that like the internet, I see the positive side of the internet. And I just hope that like this age of information will eventually over time just hopefully like if not our kids but our grandkids, we'll just be so informed that like it'll just be second nature to be like some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. Because I feel like we're still dealing with like our parents. You know what I'm saying? Our parents literally lived like 50, 40 years without the internet. That's you know what I'm saying? Like they grew accustomed to life without it. And so it's like I have hope. But that's why I wanted to ask you because I'm on the outside.
I don't want to like ruin no one's hope.
No. It's okay.
No. I think I'm probably pretty jaded, to be very honest.
I mean, you're in it though. You're in it.
Yeah, I it could happen.
Okay.
It could happen. I wouldn't like rule it out. And you know, like I said, you see glimmers of hope sometimes, like as few as they may be. Like sometimes you see them. So, you know.
Okay. Would you like to pause?
Sure.
Part 1. Okay, this was great. This was fucking great. Okay. Can we do the same thing? Can you hit the
Oh, when you count down?